homeless. Thank you, love. I'll dance at your next wedding.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't know. I gotta watch you.
Good, but I'll try.
Gotta watch what you have about with women, man. I gotta learn from you.
It's too late.
Hey, babe.
It's too late for him to learn. Too late
For me.
To share.
Remember, I did own a beauty salon one time. And
Yeah.
I had this treatment all the time. I
Yeah.
gotta tell you this. One time I did this girl's hair, and she was high, white, and I knew she was black, okay? And she was a hell of a honey. Then her got to talking, she had 5 or 6 kids, and I said, haven't you discovered how they're getting here? She said, well, we got television since then.
Oh my.
Yeah, right. And I just really took to that gal, and when I got through, I was at the cash register taking the money and putting it in there, and 2 of those old gals come up and said, Mr. Hammond, do you know what you worked on? I said, no, what did I work on? She said, you worked on a damn liquor. I said, I did? I said, that money didn't know where it come from when I put it in the cash register.
Yeah. Man, I don't like that.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Jimmy Carter was on TV this morning. He's celebrating, I think, his 85th or 86th birthday. He was just sharper than hell, but he was saying how much racism is affecting all of the attacks on Obama. And I'm,
He's right. It is. 30-something years ago.
yeah, and they still use that term. Oh my goodness.
And I worked there in that.
Those.
Put rubber gloves on and roll them up with cotton all the way.
That's kind of dangerous environment, isn't it? This, all the smells in there in the shop, all of the smells for the dye and all that stuff. And
Yeah, you get used to it. You don't pay attention to
but it's a dangerous environment because it's affecting you. Yeah,
it. All that stuff is highly toxic.
yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously it didn't stunt his growth or anything. It didn't shorten your life or stunt your growth or anything. Oh, well. All right, how we doing? Aside from freezing to death, how are we doing? God, this is way too early for this sort of How cold is it? You seen Cindy? No, don't. Relative to what? Okay. Oh my. Man.
to the east, it's even lower, like in the 30s. Between New York City and here,
Yeah.
there's an area, I don't remember the name, that is in the 30s.
It's well, frost warning? It's still summertime. Officially, I guess it is, isn't it? Dina, they have Wi-Fi at Bob Evans as well. So
Is that where you're going tonight?
now Cindy just said they got Wi-Fi at Bob Evans. So
Well, you know what was so interesting though? That you two went off and did that, and Kathleen and I went back to her place at our day.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And we were gonna just do regressions on each other. We were gonna do 2 of them, right?
Right.
Didn't end up being that. We start talking, and all of a sudden Kathleen goes, "This is a session," because I was just talking about things and stuff. So she starts doing all the intake and all the interview part of it, and then we go into the session. And actually, we had to regress for 2 hours.
Whoa.
And then I came out of it, and it was shortly after that Dina showed up. And it was like, everything was just perfect. I mean, it wouldn't matter if she showed up before.
Yeah.
It was just the perfect timing that we had finished a 2-hour regression.
And it took
Wow.
10 times longer to do anything on.
Oh, yeah,
Keeping you-
the Denny's Wi-Fi, you'd click on anything, and then you'd wait for 5 minutes, 8 minutes before it finally...
Yeah, but Spirit had a reason for all that.
Oh, I see. It was keeping Dina away.
And not that Gina needed to be kept away, but it was doing exactly that.
But did we look alike?
Not really.
Because I told you about Martha.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, oh, no, Cindy back here. Cindy at the machine. Nope. She told me about it. Didn't you?
I told you about Denny.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
I told you about it. I didn't know about that.
I may need a lot of help today.
Anna, can you help him?
Oh, well.
Jeez. You told me about Bob Evans just now. I'm sorry. Number one, that's ridiculous. Wow.
I'm sorry, I told you to live in
Yeah. Well, next is Bob Evans.
Well, I have to say, that's right. I have to say that one interesting thing that there was many interesting things that came out when we did the Spirit Contact, which is so cool.
Good.
And it's so powerful, it really is.
I know.
Because you find out all these other guides, and actually a lot of them were all my loved guides,
Right.
past loved ones. But one thing that was interesting is in a past life, my falcon, which when we did the Spirit Guide room that you took us up into back in July,
Yes.
that's when I identified this falcon as my spirit guide. And what was so interesting was in a past life back in 1843, that time frame, that falcon was there to protect me. And it
Ah.
was interesting. So actually, it would be sort of interesting to explore where's the first time the spirit guide.
Carried over and over and over, maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I
Yeah.
just found him in this life with you in July.
Yeah.
And he was in the past life.
Interesting. Is everybody happy with their spirit guides? I mean, it's a legitimate question. I mean, are you happy with your guides?
When I first met mine, I felt like I needed to counsel her.
Because oftentimes, people think, God, Jess Stern said his guide was, I think I told you before, but was a dullard. He calls him Bags, and he just doesn't like him. So, because he doesn't feel he's inquisitive enough. Jess is always searching, always the newspaper reporter, always trying to figure everything out. And his guide just didn't care. Just go with the flow, Jess. It's all right. And Jess, no, we got to figure everything out. We got to figure out how it works. And passive. So you aren't one. Yes. So you're not as real happy with yours either. And then Dina's got to console hers. Jeez. What?
I don't feel much in contact with mine.
You don't.
I don't feel that she's doing, maybe she is doing
Right. Right.
I don't have a working relation with anything, but I'll put it this way. In February 1942, I got hit with a bus and drug along.
I know.
I was supposed to die, and there was something over there with me.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I looked back at the day, it was the best blessing I ever had in my damn life.
Uh-huh.
Number one,
So maybe your spirit guide was watching out for you.
something more, because here's the point right here. I was in the Air Navigation Training Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Training navigators for bombers.
Mm-hmm.
I might have helped train that Enola Gray, but that accident kicked me out of the military. Didn't belong.
Oh. Oh.
Didn't belong.
So it's a way of handling your direction in life.
It put me in another direction, period. It's not the first one.
Yeah.
Now, at Enola Gray did 100,000 men, women, and children in a nanosecond.
Yeah, I know.
And I would have been part of that game, but I got kicked
So you
out.
feel like maybe that wasn't your karma this time around.
Now there's an undesirable, and let me roll around all over the country. Now, later on, they threw me out with nothing. I
Mm-hmm.
got to fight in the VA, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Years later, they give me 100% service connected the rest of my life. In my old age, I get one hell of a fantastic check.
Yeah.
Every month to the rest of accident.
Yeah, so
There's many ways to look at it.
so Spirit really helped you out.
Something has taken the hold of me.
What about you, Kathleen? Do you feel like you're happy with your spirit guide? You think, wow, it's cool?
Yeah, because I'm not really, the thing that I'm dissatisfied with in that whole thing is not, it never occurred to me to think it was their fault or that
Yeah.
they did something wrong. But like yesterday when you asked about the path,
Yeah.
and they were supposed to show me something, I didn't see anything, it was just like nothing, nothing.
Yeah.
So that's where my disappointment comes in, is this is not the first time I feel empty with knowing where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
that's
right.
where that thing of loss came up. So, but I never thought of actually saying, oh, it's their fault.
Well, no, I don't think it's their fault, but they just, because their job is to just keep you on the path that you came here to walk and kind of watch over you and manipulate things, maybe not manipulate them to the degree that they did with Otto, where he gets hit by a bus. But, maybe that was destiny. That'd probably be in your astrology chart for sure.
Right, whenever there's been something, before my dad died, they told, like, so, yeah, whenever
Okay.
something important comes up, they're always there.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah, so no, in that way I think you're doing pretty good.
I guess I haven't looked to mine to provide anything other than the basic knowledge that, they would be there for. What about you, Susan? Or Cindy?
Yeah. Well, what has been neat is that Kathleen gave me a reading, a reading, and she found these pink people that I could use to grid 3 or 4 pink people in college. You know what you call everything else. Help
Yeah.
grid, and I noticed my energy's changed a lot for Reiki and stuff like that.
Whoa.
And then last night when we did the spirit contact thing,
Right.
there was all these relatives and stuff, so it's really nice. And I found out that actually the spirit guides speak through my husband sometimes to give me messages.
Oh, so they're influencing him because they can get through to him easier?
Well, I wouldn't know, I mean, just some reason things that are being said are coming through him. But not that I don't have that relationship, because actually this whole thing has just opened up a big box for me now to realize how many are out there and to listen. And actually
Okay.
picked up on my father's sister. She died when she was 28 years old of a kidney disorder. And she was in this life for about a year
Mhm.
when I was a year old when she died. But she was in this past life regression as a person that I went to for advice. So she's
Okay.
still around, and actually that color that she was wearing was a suit, and I bet you it might be the color that she was buried in, which is always
Ooh.
interesting. I've got to ask my mom that question. So
Yeah.
I know her presence is around a lot, so it really has just opened up a lot so that I always knew ideas and things came to me
Mhm.
from, I was thinking of God
Mhm.
and stuff, but
Mhm.
now I'm seeing their little messages, and I can actually hear them more. And I've always recognized and acknowledged them, but
Yeah.
now I have more knowledge or more.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to it.
One of the things you'll end up having clients, boy, you don't realize what a loud thing that is until you turn it off.
So now I'm not.
You will have clients wanting to, I think you will, because I sure have had a lot of them. They're saying, well, if I did something in a past life where I accomplished, can I bring that forward? And one man who was just retiring, who was a medical doctor, and was so intrigued with the idea of the healing techniques on Atlantis. So he hired me to do a whole series of taking him back to Atlantis and exploring what the healing techniques were. And I was already very familiar with that because I had myself been intrigued with what they were doing with healing. And primarily the ways that Atlantis, the people of Atlantis used for healing was vibration and color. And that's coming back in just a little more, and a little more, and a little more now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, Patty will say there's only those are the only two vibrations that are real and are working. And so we tried to get real technical information from this healing center that he was somehow associated with in the past life. And some of it I didn't begin to understand, but he took it, and I'm hoping he did something with it. So, but you can have your clients looking for that kind of help. And it's fun. God, that was fun. I love doing those sessions. So.
Yeah, and actually I think I figured out a different business now.
Really? How so?
Because I have a certain rate of $60 for a 1-hour session for Reiki, and then how I was talking about how Reiki
Yeah.
is getting integrated,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you separate? You can't, it's just
Mhm.
all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if it's a past life is 150 for 2.5 hour session, and you got Reiki at 1 hour, which I'm actually giving everyone an hour and a half minimum.
But that's about the same rate.
No, I'm giving.
At
people an
60
hour and a half
because
at 60,
two-
Even though.
Oh, you are giving an hour and a
I
half.
always- Yeah,
But if you did the same rate, that'd be 120 for 2 hours and then a little bit more. So you're almost charging exactly the same rate.
yeah. But see, with Reiki, I overgive in terms of, it's a 1-hour session, but you are.
You give more.
An hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes later.
Okay.
Which is my own issue.
Can you, now do you have to book then that far separation of an hour between the sessions?
No, I just book every 2 hours for Reiki.
Okay.
So if it was past life, then it would be 3 hours.
Okay. I see.
So anyways, I'm looking at the difference, here, I'm getting truly paid what, better work on the past
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
Reiki, I'm overextending myself and giving more. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I balance all this and all these different modalities blurring together? And I've been hearing the $75
Mhm.
coming at me a lot. I don't really want to charge 75 for Reiki. But I feel like with this morning changing things, because I have to work hard with my partner and stuff, is that maybe I just charge $75 an hour
Mhm.
and choose how much time you want.
Yeah.
If
I
you
think-
want 2 hours, if you want to.
I think that's a good idea.
You could start with a half-hour Reiki, and then a lot of times I'm talking to people while I'm Reiki, and finding out the issues that irritate
Mhm.
them, thinking a lot of that keyboard while I'm Reiki. Some of the things that are coming up while I'm Reiki, that they don't even realize they had an issue that it just comes into their awareness. You're like, well, what's going on? You're not feeling this.
Do you
Intake of Reiki, you do Reiki and intake simultaneously.
Which is a great idea.
do you give them a choice, Dina, of being really quiet or speaking if they'd like to? Yeah. Yeah.
And if they're really talkative and they really need to calm down, I stick one of my meditation CDs in and have those on. So
Oh,
you have to shut up.
that's a good way to shut them up. Good.
While I'm Reiki you, you're going to do a little meditation.
Ah, yeah.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
they're anxious, and the more they talk about it, the more anxious they'll get it. So then
Oh.
Reiki's not going to help them if they're just,
This would primarily be first-time clients, right? Because after they've had Reiki, how could they be anxious? I mean, like, oh my God.
whenever she comes,
Yeah.
she's more anxious.
We're going to close you down.
Like you up, girl.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I had a raise many years ago, and even after that, I was still working. I was feeling a little better, but it was still anxious.
What did you have the Reiki for? Was there something that,
That was when Theo dumped me.
oh, when you were surviving that, yeah. Yeah.
And I can't really say that she helped, because she was negative. She didn't see through what was really going on, and she kept insisting that I forget about it and find some things. And when I went to someone else and found out the truth, and I told her about her, she became all defensive and didn't want to admit this.
Oh,
Maybe she was the wrong person.
boy, the heart. You don't override the heart, You're going to say, now just give this up and find somebody else. God almighty. So, well, who else has problems on the pricing? I'm curious. I mean, I didn't mean to get into this, but as long as we're talking about it.
I only charge $65 now, and I was planning after getting my next degree in therapy, I
Mhm.
raise it to 80.
Mhm.
But that's for a 3-hour session.
Oh, my
I can
goodness.
even extend to 4 hours, or 4.5 sometimes. If there's a spare it, that won't leave.
But that's really, that's working at $20 an hour after you've raised it.
Even with this, I've had people tell me that I'm too expensive.
Would you say that's I don't know how Greece, I don't know about the price structure or anything in Greece, but,
Clinical ones charge $7.5 an hour.
mm-hmm. You're really underpriced at that
Well,
point.
I don't feel that I would be getting many clients if I raise it to like $100 an hour.
Well, no, but if you're certainly working as, I mean, clinical is nothing to that by comparison to this. I mean, we're gambling all the time that we're making the right.
People don't know about it, that's the problem.
Well, it's time for you to start marketing to them.
Well, I have the website.
Yeah.
Because that's what came to me, is just to do a big session of people who want to know more about the blood.
A free session. Yeah, a free session. Come in and,
And then they start booking their appointments after.
and so when you demonstrate a little bit and people see
Well,
it firsthand, then they're going to want it. And do you give a tape or a CD to each of your clients when they leave the session? So, because they'll play it for everybody who will listen, everybody they know.
yeah, sometimes they gather with friends.
Yeah. But all those little things from marketing, I would think, would bring in more and more. And I agree, if you don't feel that you can.
Well,
Yeah.
no, marketing.
No, but some of it you don't have to be. If you just do free sessions, just.
Schedule some group sessions and we'll see more
Mm-hmm.
show up.
That group, you can offer a very minimal price of $40 or $50, and they can understand hypnosis, and we do a little hypnosis session to build trust.
That's what I was scheduled after starting in October this year.
Good. And is there any magazines that you can write an article for? Is there any New Age magazines that might be?
Lots of them.
Okay, well now that would, they're always looking for editorial. And so if you propose, hey, I could write a column, I could write some articles, would you be interested in that? You know how to write. You did fine on that, on your homework assignment that I have. So,
So would that be the same column that I write on my website?
yeah, you very well could use it more than one time. Sure. So those are just little things. I mean, there's a lot more you could sure do. That's just the beginning of opening the door. But, yeah, good idea. What do you...
I hand out cards, I have to put it on my computer yet. Free consultation, 10 to 2 a day.
Yeah,
And that way you sit there and talk.
sure.
You go from there.
How long a free consultation do you give
I
them?
don't have a limit. They're going
Okay.
to sit there for 5 hours, I'll listen to them for 5 hours.
That's a little bit, if it's a free consultation,
I
that,
don't care, because I've got a lot of time, that's all I got.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
And I'm not money motivated, I call it symbolic restitution. I don't know
Okay.
about that, but
Cool.
I call it symbolic restitution.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
And so I'm really not money motivated.
Okay.
And I do.
So, but that marketing works for you, offering a free consultation.
It's worked pretty good.
Okay.
But I'm not getting what I won't get.
Yeah.
I'm stubborn, hard-headed, and I'll keep trying. And now I'm going to restructure the whole thing after I get back from this session here.
Yeah,
And listen to
sure.
I'm the lone stranger down there.
Yeah, well, you are. You're the Lone Ranger.
All by myself.
Yeah, you do. But what a nice,
Life in that area.
what a nice, I'll talk with you about your ads.
That's the reason I brought it.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about them because I think you're missing a couple points real. And if you just make a couple changes, it will really get better. So,
Okay, that's the reason I brought it.
good. I'll bring the magazine back in tomorrow.
My question was about the free consultations, because it seems that everybody that was advertising the hypnosis on New China Western New York that I went to, not only did they not list the prices, but they all had these free consultations, and they didn't really say how long they were or anything. And I know like the impact stations lovely, but I'm also paying for that time during the space. Does that mean my price tag
Yeah.
has to go higher to compensate for that?
Well, sure it would.
So if you get a higher rate for the first session and then successive hours are a lower rate?
I think I'd make a free consultation if you are in a position like that, Kathleen, that it has to be by phone.
That's what I was wondering, yeah. By phone.
Yeah, I know, boy. When they come to the location, you know, the clock starts ticking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you've got some pretty good credentials, kid. Not a lot. Yeah. 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 I know that a guy came into the Agora Hills, Westlake Village area where our offices are, and I don't have it here, but he passed out a little flyer, just inexpensive little flyer, you know, black and white printing on some color paper, and but he was offering a free session, which I think is maybe going a little bit too far. But the first session is free. Now, I don't know if he hustled you up when he came in, you know, you have to sign up for 3 or something to that effect, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't offer a free session, but I had somebody contact me through Facebook, and she had a lot of credentials, and was a Broadway, pretty much of a star for a while, and my God, you know, she did not want to get off the phone, wanted to talk and talk and talk on the phone. And I was polite with her, but, you know, we got to the point of it's 45 minutes, and I said, I have to go. This is it. And I doubt it's really going to turn into anything. So,
I had a client for an hour on the phone.
an hour on the phone?
She's not even in Nashville, she's far in the north.
Well, maybe we're all better off if you're going to advertise anything to the effect of free consultation. You just put in the 2 qualifications. It's by phone and it's a 15-minute maximum. Because people love to just talk, and they oftentimes do not have anybody to talk to. And Jason, just because Jason is handling the office, and he ends up in a position oftentimes of answering the phone, who's my right-hand man, left-hand man. But when people talk to him, that's the main thing. He cannot get them off the phone because they just want to talk about their story.
Or many of them say they don't have anybody who believes in this sort of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the first person they can talk to.
And so, oh my God, then, yeah.
On my advertisement, every one of them says no phone calls,
Mm-hmm.
use the email.
Mm-hmm.
They won't respect it. They get on the phone.
Oh, no.
For 5 hours.
Your people want, everybody wants, anybody, let's say 40 and up, they want the phone.
That's right.
Now, you know, the younger generation, boy, they can text.
I got it on all my ads, no phone calls.
Yeah.
And come in, and then when they do phone me, come into my office and talk to me. Bang!
That may be working against you.
Well, I'm not quite that blunt.
That's why Greg doesn't answer the phone anymore, because people say, oh, you might ring right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They have all these questions, but
I just have one question. Oh,
that one question, you know, if it's, like, one of the things that, I just want to know about, should I have a service? And, you know, that one question is, yes, you should have service, okay, how it's going to go out. No, you shouldn't, okay, then my God, God, you know? It's like,
yeah.
but those other,
And I don't need you now. Obviously, I don't need a reading now.
but the thing is, if you answer your phone,
Yes. Yeah.
An English accent.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Or this is just a call service too. Answering service. An answering service.
Well, I agree, and on all of my stuff it says appointments are made on the web. But that still doesn't stop people from calling. And so thank goodness, you know, Jason does talk to them. But if I had to do that, if I had to answer them, no, you wouldn't have time for your appointments. No.
See, I live in a hotel. I don't have a phone in my room.
Uh-huh.
Where I live.
Yeah.
I don't have a phone in my office. I
Yeah.
don't want a phone in either one of them.
Yeah.
I don't talk on them. I hate telephones to start with, especially them down here. I'm really old-fashioned.
We got to talk to you about coming up to speed.
No way, Jose. Too late. So anyhow.
Yeah, well, it's interesting.
I gotta go to the hotel office if somebody calls me.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Even the bank.
Do they send a bellboy up to get you and say, hey, you've got a call?
It's Mexican style.
Yeah.
It's been there 150 years or so.
Yeah.
And they've tried to remodel it 100 times.
Well, how do they ever reach you then? Don't they send a bellboy up to get you and say you've got a phone call? Well, how do they tell you that you've got a phone
Just go
call?
back to my room or wherever I'm at. Hey, and a lot of times I'm out drinking coffee somewhere and they'll say, hey, you got a client. Okay, I'll come back then.
Yeah. Oh my.
I'm watering all over the neighborhood.
Boy, that's
That's my setup.
that's an interesting setup,
People in the
Ahmed.
hotel take good care of me. I give them a little papilla.
Just like the women do in here. They just, you know, what do you guys have planned for him for dinner?
It's my shining personality.
Yeah, I
And
guess
I got a
so.
little papilla. You know what papilla is,
That no.
you know?
Tip.
Tips.
Tip. Oh,
And
yeah, sure.
And I'm heavy with the tips. because
That's good. Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand that money talks.
yeah. Oh, it sure does.
Really walks.
I have a question. Past lives, and I think, did you start to say something when you were first talking to me today about, can you bring in a skill or something that you achieved?
Something from a past life that
bring
would,
back.
you'd probably be able to do it you develop the ability again very quickly. It's an innate ability. It's in the memory banks of your subconscious mind. So you could develop it again. Or if you would know about your parallel lives, you could draw upon the same sort of awareness. In other words, if your parallel is a musician, plays guitar in a band, well, you pick up a guitar, even if you know nothing about your parallel lives and you decide to start working on it, you probably would be able to develop it a lot faster than someone who doesn't have that kind of connection.
I wanted to ask you about the phone sessions.
Mhm.
You said that you don't do it with Skype, that you do it with a regular phone, right?
Yes, I do.
Well, would you ask your clients to buy a new telephone so that there's a socket to put a headset on?
I tell them that it will work best if they have a headset or a speakerphone. And most people will have one or the other. But sometimes I get people who just say, well, I'm laying the phone down right by my ear and I'm laying back. And we do it that way, but it's not good. It's not the best. You know, I sometimes have trouble hearing, but I can have trouble on a European call hearing as well. But
But it works with a speakerphone on it?
yeah, speakerphone is real good. That's fine. Get it right close to them. You know, don't set it across the room and think it's going to work good.
But then you can hear them?
Yes.
Because usually
Yes.
they speak very softly. I have a hard time understanding, even when they're in front of me, a
Oh.
very hard time understanding what they're saying. And they speak great.
Oh.
Make them repeat up. How the suggestion of speaking up, that's what Dick is.
I tell them, you've got to speak up louder, please.
People just can't.
And no, they can't, and they lapse right back into it. And I, for some reason, especially the last month and a half, I have had as many foreign people as I have had English. Yeah, with a really thick accent. East Indian, Japanese, a Peruvian woman who lives in Germany. And that was a mix of the damnedest sort of sound. My ear wouldn't, I just couldn't get the dialect, and I had an awful time. But I was able to do it enough. But when you do this, and I would advise everyone to do it, because now, especially as you market on the web, you are marketing for whoever, anywhere in the world, can use a computer. So the more you do, the more widespread your reach. And so it pays, but I just, a lot of people, they either hear the radio show, or they get my column, or they've read the books, and so they will call in from very remote places. As I say in the ad one place, that it's not unusual. I'll have a session in the morning with somebody in Italy and a session in the afternoon with somebody in Japan. And man, I'm really tired of foreign accents, just between us. But I will do it. I love the people, you know. But it's hard to understand them sometimes. So he probably didn't speak real good English, right?
No.
He did?
He's
Yeah.
He's been learning Greek for 20 years. And
Oh,
Greek, so
okay.
He communicates in English, so that was good. I
Mhm.
can't. I had it for a very long time.
Well, you have to do a few things. If you, on the phone sessions, you are going to have to understand if the call is dropped, then who's going to call back? And if it's a foreign call, I have them call me rather than try to bill for that or keep a international plan. Or I just say, you call me, and I give them the number where I'm going to be. Well, you have to give them a self-releasing suggestion as part of the induction, and explain to that first before you even start the induction. I'm going to give you a self-release suggestion. Now, if the phone should be dropped, if for any reason you're feeling uncomfortable, then all you have to do to awaken on your own is to count up silently in your mind from 1 to 5. And so they have a way to exit hypnosis. Even if they're a real deep level subject, most people, they would be able to do it anyway. So they then are going to awaken and call me back. And it wasn't, well, it was because a call was dropped just recently from, I forget what foreign country, but it was because she had done something to the phone. She'd reached over and touched something, and bzzz, and she called right back. So, but be sure you set it up that way, and they understand. If it's in the States, I say, I will call you back. So hang up the phone, and I will call you back. And then it works just as effectively as if they're sitting right there in the room. No, I can't read their lips, you know. So if I'm having a real difficult time hearing them, I can't say that it works just as effectively. But for most sessions, it does work just as effectively. They'll get the same results over the phone as they will.
Sometimes when they're living in trauma, they're not speaking, and I can tell by their facial expression.
Oh, yeah.
And I make new questions.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy who just wouldn't speak, he was reliving he was being raped by his father.
Oh.
As a kid, and he wouldn't even speak. I had to guess the whole thing. He wouldn't speak.
Oh, yeah. And even when you'd say, I want you to speak up and tell me what you perceive, what you are doing at this time. Oh, wow. That's a difficult. I think I would probably wake them up at that point and we would talk about it. I don't think I'd go on if he's moaning.
Well, at the end, it worked out.
Yeah,
I
it
guessed
did.
right.
You guessed right, or you psychically perceived right.
So you say that goes in down,
Well, no pain, I'd be saying no pain and no emotion. On the count of 3, there will be no pain and no emotion. 1, 2, 3. And if it didn't stop, then I would surely wake them up, I guess. Then you went on to the next scene. Yeah.
But I think over the phone, it doesn't work the
Mm-hmm.
same.
Mm-hmm.
Wait 10 minutes to be able to
Right. Well, it used to be, you know, you market locally or you market nationally, you know, but now with the web, everyone is marketing internationally. So.
You could have someone set up, find someone in another country to set up so you have all kinds of appointments and plan to travel that. And that's how you could do it on site. just like Dick comes here and.
Oh, I announce usually if we have, semantics are a real problem on this. You, but, but I usually will say if I'm going, we'll have it on the website, and then people locally will end up coming. But they'll just be people that come from. Like last time, they were people that came from quite a ways away, but it was closer than California, and they wanted to do the session in person. So I had 2 or 3 appointments earlier. I don't have this time, but we didn't even begin to promote it. So
Do you record the session on telephone?
no, they can record it there because they need to record it. Nobody even has tapes anymore. So now we're recording to. On a recording stick, and now we have to put it into the computer, and we have to download the CD, and we have to mail it internationally. And, somebody just complained because we charged, this woman in Germany, $10 to master the CD and send it all the way to England. I'm sure we lost a lot of money on that. You can? Good. What type of machine is it? Right. Yeah. I'm familiar with the company. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. $700 on sale.
On sale.
Yikes. Yeah. It just takes time. It's. Yeah, that's interesting right there. 44 cents. Yeah. Yeah. Well, these are all considerations. Do you record for the client? Everybody that comes into the office, I recorded. But I just have not wanted to get involved with all of that recording stick and the computer and the downloading and the burning of the CDs. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in there.
What about the payment sequence that you work out with that in terms of international and stuff? Do they give you all their money PayPal first? You check to see that it's there, and then you.
I just trust them. I haven't had anybody burn me. I've got some friends that sure have had a lot of people burn them, but no, they're spiritual people to begin with, and so they're thinking twice about the karma, I think. So I just trust, and I do the session. No, I just say, usually when the phone call starts, I will say, let's get the business out of the way first. Do you have a card that I can put this on? And everybody, is, yeah, sure, here, boom, boom, boom. I copy down the numbers, and I can say, thank you very much. Now, what are we going to work on? And then you do the session. So I have the card. If I were at the office and I were anyway suspect, I would just give it to Hunter or Jason. I'd say, run this as soon as I've got it. But I just haven't had problems like that. Oh yeah, PayPal. Yeah, and PayPal's easy. Most people are, they're up to speed on that.
I was telling Richard, my brother-in-law is creating a new something
Yeah.
on the web. It's like Facebook, but you can actually see each other and you'll go into like a chat room and you have to have the cameras on your
Yeah.
computer, but you could do a session where they could be watching you and close their eyes, but if they
Yeah.
open their eyes, they can see you.
They could see you.
And then you can see them, you can watch, their eyes for body language. And I think he said it was like $5 to do, rather than buying the software, because there's software
Wow.
that can do that. But it's like
It's expensive.
$100, which is
Well, Patty Conklin's got one now that I really like, but it's $100 a month. But you can be on the air in 5 minutes. If you got a little old digital movie camera, That's all it takes. Or, of course, your up-close cameras but those are horrible. You look awful on those cameras. So,
Well, there's one built right into your laptop too.
yeah, yeah.
I tried it. I didn't get into it.
Garbage? Interesting name. Wow.
The guy who made my website said that there's a way around it, that he can connect my website to YouTube, and then I would be able to send any voice files through the YouTube. There's so many
Yeah. Yeah, I know there are, and they're probably going to be refined over the next. Yeah, 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 yeah. Not having to bother with anything except putting the address down, and now you've got them for your mailing list, and sending it off in the mail. I would tend, but this new, I know what Patty has is going to have the ability. It doesn't until supposedly December of this year, but like where Carol and I have a radio show that we do, she's on the air, we're on the air on CTR once a month, every 4 weeks. But I'm thinking, boy, we could be on television every 4 weeks, but she lives in Dayton, Ohio, and I live in Southern California. So, but it will have the capability of a camera. She can have a camera on her out there. I can have one on me in Malibu or in Lake Arrowhead, and you can switch back and forth, they say. So one person will be big on screen and one person will be a little smaller. So that is, but that technology that Patty's using and is going to do a lot with, she's already doing her weekly broadcast as a video broadcast. And it does cost $100 a month. But you can be, I was just amazed where she said, well, come on down to the studio and we will, which is just a bedroom in her house and the lower level. And she was up and running and we were testing it on the air within, 3 or 4 minutes. So it'll be a lot of neat new things.
When that weather balloon crashed in New Mexico, they brought that chip with it, sure did change the world.
What's that?
That chip, that we use today and everything. I have an electronic background, third piece
Yeah.
of electronics. And the chip completely revolutionized the whole.
Well, where was the chip from?
Well, when the weather balloons fell in New Mexico, it come out shortly after that. Of course, the government said it come from the Bell Laboratories or MTI,
Yeah.
but it didn't.
Was it an alien thing or something?
That's
Oh, okay.
when the weather balloons fell.
Oh,
Yeah, there is. Shortly after that, that little chip come out. Now you can put 10 circuits on something the size of my thumb.
yeah.
And it's cheaper to just scoop that out.
Yep, you can get 12 gigabytes on.
Right, but the whole nine, and so it revolutionized the whole scheme of today with what we've got.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
all on that chip.
Mm-hmm.
When they first come out, they were close to $100.
Yeah.
Now they're 3 for a penny. You can put them in toys. You can
Yeah.
put them all over, like plastics. You see,
Yeah.
also I had 20 hours of plastics. And everything.
Well-
We're even eating a lot of plastics.
So, well, new technology is going to keep coming out, that we're going to refine it and we'll all have an ability. Now, do you want to see your client when you're working with them on the phone? Do you want to have to get up in the morning, put all your makeup on? The fun of phone things, you can do it in your jammies. Yeah, yeah. Do you want to get look?
Fake person in front of the monitor.
Yeah, you just here's my photograph in front of the monitor and I'm, yeah, so, interesting.
Does anybody know if the new phones come with a special socket with a, yeah, they do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, all of the phones come with a socket for a headset.
I bought a phone
Are you sure?
No.
Usually it's just one of the little slots up on the side.
No, I pay like $70.
Yeah. If you have a phone service, why, then, they'll make it real cheap to buy the phone. But you have to, say, sign up for a couple years to get it really good. Uh-huh. They'll show me your phone. I'll bet you there's a slot on it for a headset. Because he couldn't even sell it in California without that, because you can't use a phone unless you have a headset if you're driving.
I have my cell phone, talking about landline phone.
Oh.
Of course. Well, who would be calling long distance on a cell phone? From Europe. People that don't have language.
People all the time,
That costs a hell of a fortune, at least in Europe.
unless they have a phone international plan. They have really good plans. If I wanted to be able to call internationally, it only cost $5 with Sprint for an international plan. Okay. They do? God, more and more Americans just only have a cell phone now. They're dropping it. So. I have to have it because I do a radio show. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered with a home phone. Okay. Who's going to volunteer to be a hypnotist and take somebody back? Spirit contact therapy. Well, only one person's done it, so that makes it real easy. You all got to do it. Who is willing to take it on now?
That's what he wanted when he wanted that green card.
Okay, I'm going to duck into the men's room while you decide who is going to do it.
And I don't give a damn.
You speak Southern, Texan?
Texican. You better learn Texican real fast.
Go ahead, I have a Southern accent too. Is those on?
Yes, I know you do. I'm well aware of it.
You don't have any accent at all. You don't have an accent.
What I'll do is just, come on.
Put your feet on the bottom.
You don't have an accent.
Read on the ball.
Yeah, you might.
No, you got it's like you were born here in the California, but not southern. Yeah, you got to very much. Nah, not much. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but not southern. Yeah, U.S. You could be from Ohio or anywhere there in the Midwest, Nebraska, all of that, or California. You could real easy. Who brought the goodies today? got a victim. Who's going to hypnotize the victim?
I think they drew straws.
All right.
She volunteered.
Now,
him.
if you got any nasty things inside you, you got the right person. If he's got any attachments or demons or anything like that, you.
But we're not gonna get into that, or are we?
I don't know, but it always. I never plan on getting into that.
If I do, he's had a hell of a ride the last few years. If I got one, a demon in me, he's had a hell of a ride.
Well, you got the right girl to help you out. Now, would you like me to put on the sound when it comes time for that, or not?
Whatever.
The mind converter?
No, I didn't know it was
Oh,
first.
yeah, the mind converter.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous.
All right. Now here you go, kid. Because part of what I want you to do is I wish this were a good working microphone. You're going to have to hold it about here, and and you've got to be down on it. You'll notice it cuts out, so it's. But that's awful close to you.
Dick, I don't use a handheld microphone. I got a stand at home. So I'm gonna have to get used to that when I go.
Yeah.
Just surrender
You're right.
your. Use this.
You can click this just in your pants pocket.
Two microphones?
See right here. No, this is for the
Click
recording.
it on.
The recording?
Yeah, they're making a video of you.
Oh,
You're making a video? I quit.
and